Hi everybody, my name is Andrew, and today I'm gonna do a review of all my fishing tackle and stuff like that. So I'm gonna say it now. Let's kick it off. Alright, that's enough. Now, I'm gonna say this now. I've got quite a bit of fishing tackle that y'all people might like. And sure, the Lord knows I like it, because I fish with it every freaking day. Almost every other day. But if I don't fish, I'm just like, alright, well, I can make a video. So I've fished in like, I say 2 days. I got a little hole down where I live. So, let's go. I'm gonna start off with the, I got a little setup right there. It's a little, crow bug. Well, I guess I can start with the rare crow bug. It's a gulp little yum crow bug. It comes with, it's a little, little red one, and there's multiple colors, but I'll get to that later. There's a lot of different ways you can rig it up. Like, you can stick it through the back end toward the tail. Like, here it is. Like, there's the tail. It's got a kick in motion. Here's what it looks like fully in my hand. I guess it's a good bait. It's just, it doesn't smell good, so like, don't get it on your floor. That's how I'm gonna say it now. Don't get it on your floor. Like, I like sewing it upside down. Like, here it is. Here's the back. It comes with the types of jig heads. I like using the kind of like medium jig head. I'm not sure how much it weighs. I wasn't very particular about that, so I do it like this. So it kind of gives it on a stop and go motion if it gets caught on something like stop and go. You see it like that, and bada bang. It's a natural kind of presentation, but if you want to do it differently, like during summer fishing, you can stick it through the head and get it kind of a faster motion where the fish come up and go boom. You set the hook right there on the top of the mouth or on the side. If you're a bass angler, you know what I'm talking about. If you're like, I don't know, little smallmouth, you might know it too. But I've got some smallmouth jigs in there. And there's a few different colors. I'll get them out and I'll show you. I'll stick them all in my hand. You guys will think this pretty neat. I like them personally. They work pretty well in my pond, my little river. Like bada bang. You got little natural topped. Let's see if the camera will focus. Like a little natural topped, gray colored and a little orange bottom. I like that one. Works really well. Then you got the pumpkin green with the red shimmers in it, and you got the blue and black, which is my personal favorite in the river. It's real good. You get it like that, kind of have it, get the hook kind of not pointing out so much, and you got it like, it'll go up and it'll swallow it, and you set the hook. But you got to bring a good long pair of pliers, which I usually don't carry along, and you got the one that I already showed you. But, alright, well, I'll get on to the, I got some tubes, and I got the, I'll stick this little diver over here, and I'll show it to you later, because I think you guys will like that one really well. I like it. It's taught me a lot of stuff. Well, I'll go on to the tubes and stop running my stupid mouth. You got the gray and shimmer tube. You got the, I'll talk a little about the gray and shimmer tube. It's got a little white bottom, and I'm not 100% sure how to use this, but I've caught fish on it. Like, I've been learning how to rig these up pretty well. Like, I'm not great at it, but I figured out an easier way. You can just stick it through the hole of it. But if you're using like a different kind, like if I can, oh, I do have an empty one here. Give me a second. And I'll get you I'll get a different kind of gray tube out. I'll use a split one that I split earlier to show you guys. So if you get the excuse me, sorry. So if the tube originally looks like this, it's hollow on the inside. Can't see the past the tentacles. So I split it, but I've used this one. I've used a split tactic too. So if you split it, and so pretend it's a full tube, you get the hook, little weighted head, you get it and you stick it. You kind of gotta start like this, and you gotta curve it. You gotta stick it down in the hole, as you can see. Then you gotta pierce the top skin. But if you don't have, like, if you can't pierce it, you can put it on the table and kind of push down. It'll help you pierce it. Works really well. I like doing that. Helps me out instead of getting all that, like, fish weird. See, then it ends up looking like that with the little nub right there. You tie your line in it and, like, maybe a Palomar knot. You'll get yourself hopefully a good bass, or maybe a bluegill during the winter if you go fishing winter times. Like, I try to fish during the winter time. It gets really cold down here, so I stick with what I can get. So I stick with springtime. Then you got this one I'm about to show you. It's perfect for wintertime fishing. If you're going for like largemouth, I don't know, bluegill, if you're obsessed with those little nuggets and crap. Then you can get yourself a little white shimmer tube, and it works really, really well. See? You can just, it's a kind of, it's not too big, maybe the size of my pinky or my, but it's a real good size. I like it personally. But it counts on the fisherman. Like, if it's me talking, like, I like it personally. But you don't have to like it. It's me. Then you got yourself the this is the early summer, like late spring kind of tube. But you can use this like year round. It's perfect for those conditions. Like, you can go like this, go like that. I like it on the top so it doesn't, like, kind of makes it weedless because these things don't spin unless like you're like full on jerking it. So then after that one, we got ooh, this one's my favorite. Y'all might not like this color, but I love this color. It works perfect up in my pond since I got a lot of pumpkin plants, little watermelon plants that fall in the water. I got a little nickname for my pond. It's called Watermelon Creek. So you got yourself the little pumpkin, not the pumpkin, but the watermelon, green watermelon kind of jig with the kind of weedless presentation, except if you put yourself a little, I say mealworm or waxworm on there, and you'll get yourself a good fish. I'm going to show you the kind of darker, like this is for like, I don't know, kind of murky water, because if you can put a rattle in it. I got one, and it works really well when you get it. It's a nice little thing, comes in handy. You can stick all sorts of stuff in it. Here's my little rattle. If you get the rattle and you stick it right there next to the hook, you just stick it down in there, it'll work really well. Make it kind of look more bulky, but if you can't get it in there when you have the hook in, then if you want to, I'm using a different kind of hook. The other ones have weighted jig heads. This one's like different kind. It's kind of, it's for a swim bait hook. I found them at Bass Pro. It wasn't expensive, maybe like $2 for like 6. It wasn't expensive at all. It was really cheap. But if you can't get that in there, you get yourself a small pair of pliers or like maybe a small stick. But I wouldn't use a stick. That'll get stuck real easy. So after you're done that, just bring it back up. Bada bang. See, make it look kind of bulkier than the other one, and if you shake it, you hear that little rattle. And if you're dragging it through the water and you're just kind of jerking it, like boom, get like a nice few hits off of it, then it makes the fish go crazy because they like things that have noise and motion to them. Now I'm going to show you the bigger ones that I actually really like. It's let me take that swim bait out of there. Let me find the ones with the hook in it so it's easier to show you. Alright, well, here is the smaller ones that I showed you earlier in the video. Here's a good sized one. Like, it's kind of a big daddy. I call them crawdads, but other people might call them like crayfish, but I'm from the country, so I don't care. So here's the blue one. It's got a little black top, blue bottom, kind of like the black and blue jig. And you got yourself the original crayfish top, kind of orange bottom. They'll go crazy for that too if you put some, like if you get yourself a good, like if it's jerking it, if you're like, it's like jigging it. Like if you jig the bait on the bottom really like slow and steady. Like if my parents used to tell me slow and steady wins the race. That's not always true. Like bait, bada bing. Yeah. Alright, I'm back. I just had to do a quick errand. Alright, so I've shown you all those. Now I'm going to show you a few of my favorites that I like. This is the pumpkin green and little grub bait with two little spinning tails on the end. In my pond, the bass go crazy for this shit. Like, they'll go, like, I'm just barely going at the bottom, and like I'll have this little weed guard on the bottom, kind of like up on the top. I'll have it just sitting there. I'll feel a small hit on it, then I'll go a little bit faster, make that tail go, and I'll feel them go, whoop, swallow that, and then I'll jerk that. I'll just jerk it, and I'll set the hook perfectly, directly in their jaw. And if you've noticed, there's no hole to sew the string through. It's because it's a tie around bait, actually. You just kind of twist it at least 3 times, kind of pull it, and you tie it. So you get it like that, and it stays on there, but I didn't tie that, so that's just me. But if you want to do like your own little thing, you be my guest. I don't care what you do. Then I got my Super Shed minnow bait. I kind of made it myself, actually. If you can't tell, I kind of split the top open. I need to kind of melt it there and just hold it right there. This little thing, you put a wax worm on there and you have it going boom, boom during like cold times, and you got yourself good. This is my favorite one, probably no second. This is the black and blue jig with the weedless with the Fat Albert kind of grub on it. You can see that right there. And you got this thing bumping off of rocks on the clear edge, and you got no. And they'll go for it like bloody crazy. And I'll get my other ones that y'all might like. Oh shit, that hurt. And I got my. Let me find. Ooh, I got my. Give me a second. Give me a quick. I got my little white buzz bait, and this thing works really well. As you can tell, it's not really messed up, but this hook is super sharp, so it'll go. It's a top water, so I'm going there, and it's going. Whoop, 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 whoop. Then I'll have a fish come up, and that blow up is big, and it goes. Whoop. And it just swallows it like right there, and you set that hook. It's a pretty big hook, as you can tell. So like they can't spit it out unless they like jump up like 15 feet in the air or like 6 foot, but it's a decent distance. Like this is one of the best top water lures I've ever used. Here's my black and yellow spinner with a Fat Albert on it too, and this thing's caught me some giants, man. It caught me my personal best 6-pound largemouth bass up in Holston River. You guys might not know where that is, but it's not too deep, but after a good rain, it's maybe like 5 or 6 feet deep, and it's real muddy. So like, get this in, they'll feel the vibration of that tail right there, and they'll see that little spinning black thing right there, and then they'll hit it like crazy. They'll knock it a few times, just to mess with it. Then they'll full on swallow it, which makes it worth your time. Then I got my rooster tail. I'm not going to talk much about that because this thing's old. And I got my little Rebel minnow, and this thing has 2 treble hooks. It's a 2 to 3 feet diving little minnow, represents a little shad, and it's caught me a few smallmouth and a few bluegills. But I think it's best to use it around like midsummer, like early spring, like that. But that's my preference. Like it's up to fishermen, as I said earlier. Then I got my big, I got my big one. This one's got me actually my personal best. The one that I showed you, the buzz bait that I showed you was my old personal best. But this one caught me my personal best now. It's an 8-pound largemouth bass caught in Watauga Lake, and oh man, that's fun. I was using 20-pound break straight line with a red line like this right here. Then I was using a carbo fiber leader with the swivel on it, so if it wanted to spin a little, it could, just in case it got kind of snagged up. So, like, I would show you, but I'm just gonna put it up to the camera like that. If you can't see that, there's a little computer chip in there. Whenever you cast it in, you can drag it down and it vibrates, and it'll come back up. You can pull it down again, and it vibrates and it spins around. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's my personal best 8-pound largemouth bass in Watauga Lake. It's up in Bristol. Yes, I said Bristol. I live near there. Battle of Bristol, baby. But I bought this from Bass Pro. It was, say, like $11, but like it was a good price. I got some other things, but those aren't important. But thanks for watching, and comment, subscribe, and like. And please don't be negative. If you didn't like the video, just don't do any of the things. Like, don't like, don't subscribe. But if you did, just, you know what to do. Thank you for watching.